Peace and love, family. What's up? What's up? Just want to jump on and encourage you guys that are watching and just say, keep doing what you're doing. Continue. The word for this conversation is just continue. Continue doing what you're doing. You are amazing. You are talented. You are gifted in what you're supposed to do. And let me just remind you that you are in the right place at the right time. Like wherever you are at in life right now, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. God doesn't make mistakes. With God, there's no accidents. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. As a matter of fact, in my book, Pipe Dreams, I talk about punctuality and timing and like talking about you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You were born in the era you were supposed to be born in. You grew up in a generation you're supposed to grow up in. You grew up in the community you're supposed to grow up in, the environment you were supposed to grow up in. Everything that has happened to you and happened through you was for a reason. And right now in this current state that you're in, you're probably having these thoughts of, let me just pack it up and just be normal and be regular. Nah, man. Continue doing what you're doing. If you got your day job, your side hustles, keep your cash flow coming in. But whatever your creativity is, your concepts are, your ideas, your thoughts, your dreams, your passions, put the effort into it, because each time you produce, somebody is being empowered, somebody's being blessed, somebody's being supported, somebody's being championed, somebody is taking in from what you're doing. So today we celebrated the 1 year anniversary of my debut book, Pipe Dreams, Principles to Love What You Love. If you have not gotten your copy, go ahead and go to my website or go to Amazon, Kindle, and get your copy. We celebrated 1 year, and I'm proud of this accomplishment. Very proud of it. I don't hide from it. I don't back down from it. Like, it's one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. But I was a little disappointed because I didn't get the turnout that I wanted for my review party. I posted it. I sent out emails. I sent out text messages, to family, to friends, to loved ones, your warm market that they talk about. And I didn't get the numbers that I envisioned. And I was a little disappointed earlier. And I went to my wife and I told her, she was like, what's wrong? I said, I'm a little disappointed. Like, the numbers didn't turn out how I wanted it to. And, she gave her encouragement and support. Like, you did a great job. It was amazing. And we had the conversation, the exchange of, not expecting the turnout that you want from your immediate family, friends. It's like the gifts that we have, both myself, my wife, the gifts that you have, it's not always going to be best received by the ones closest to you. You have something that somebody else needs, and that somebody else may not be in your direct family, direct community. It could be somebody in another state, in another city, in another country, but you have something that somebody would pay top dollars for. And I know that firsthand. Trust me, I've experienced that. You have something that somebody would pay top dollars for. So don't stop what you're doing. Continue doing what you're doing. In my book, I have a section on punctuality, a chapter on punctuality, and I have a section on you're exactly, I believe I call it, you're exactly where you were supposed to be, or something like that. Voted a while ago. But you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now in this moment. And take that opportunity, because think about it, with the people that you look up to the most, the people that your muses, talked about muses a few videos ago, the people that you look up to, they were not overnight successes. They didn't just put out one movie and become the person you looked up to. They didn't just put out one album or one song or one single. They didn't just put out one book. They didn't just put out one message or one sermon or one philosophy. Like, they've been putting out work, product, content constantly over and over for a period of time. What they did was they continued. They kept doing what was in their soul. They kept doing what they had a passion for. They continued doing what they were on fire about. And ultimately, it caught wind somewhere and blew up to this phenomenon that the world loves. So you have that same capacity. You have that same ability. As long as you're focused and you're praying, you keep God at the center, you have the same capacity. You just got to continue. Legends are not judged by, they're not always judged by the entirety of their career. That's afterwards when they retire. But each season, we just had the All-Star break this weekend. Let's use basketball as an analogy. Each season, these legends are judged based on what they do per season. So at the end of the year, who's the MVP? Who had the best year? This particular year. It doesn't say who's the greatest ever. This year, who had the best year? This year, who won the scoring title? Who scored the most points? This year, who had the most assists? This year, who had the most steals? Who had the most blocks? Like in each of these categories, they're judged based off what they've done this particular year. Who's the champion? Who won the championship this year? You know what I'm saying? Like with albums, when we talking, award shows, who had the best rap album this year? Who had the best pop album, the best country? Like everything that you do, I bring all of that up to say, everything that you do is judged based on the frame that you produce it in. So this year, what are you producing? Focus on your frame. Focus on this particular frame in your life. That's 2022. Focus on your frame. Because if you're like me and you constantly get depressed by the big picture, because my big picture is large. My big picture is it's ridiculous. That's why I fall into depression a lot, because I keep going to the big picture and it's like, and I look around, I'm not there yet. Like it doesn't look anything like the big picture. I'm like, it's like Joseph. Like you had this vision, this dream. God gave you this dream of you're gonna be in a palace, but you wake up and you're in a pit. Like that's depressing. You cannot be productive that way. You can't be successful that way. You have to focus on your frame. In this particular frame, what's happening? What am I working on? What is the next album? What is the next song that I need to produce? These incremental steps, incremental changes, you know what I'm saying, contribute to what you're producing in this particular frame. And by frame, I mean this time of life that you're in. That could be just in 2022. That could be from 2022 to 2025. Whatever your frame is, you know what your industry is and your timeline. But focus on your frame. Focus on what you're working on right now. Make that the best. Your next event, all of you creatives, all of you, hosts and chefs and cooks and designers, your next event, make that your best event. Treat your first like your last and your last like your first. Like, I gotta forgive me, I was just listening to the Black Album. Like, you make every event, every book, every album, every song, treat it like your last. And make that the next best thing. Make the next thing you release, the next thing you produce, make that the next best thing in your life. So yeah, you're gonna have these moments where the numbers don't turn out the way you envisioned it. And it's disheartening. It's sometimes borderline defeating, and it's okay. You need a support system. I'm grateful I got the support system and my wife that I have, but you need to have that moment of, okay, let's regroup and remember, your product is not designed for everybody. Everyone is not going to buy your product, and that's okay. And for you, creative, you entrepreneur, don't treat them any different. Let that sink in. Don't treat people, don't treat your family, your friends any different because they didn't support you in the frame that you were producing. It didn't catch on, or it doesn't resonate with them in this moment. And it's okay. It doesn't mean that you don't have a valuable product. And it doesn't mean they don't love you. Don't let these insecurities start creeping in. Like, okay, if my own family not supportive, if my own friends are not supporting, my own immediate circle, they're not jumping on, shoot, I must not have. Nah, you have something great. You have something valuable. It's just not for them. It's just a different perspective, just a different lens to put on. It may not be for them, but it could be for a brother out in Arkansas. It could be for a sister out in Pennsylvania. It could be for somebody out in Cali, out in North Carolina. It could be for somebody somewhere else. that grabs a hold. I'm keeping a buck with y'all. This book right here that I'm so proud of, I will always be proud of. I sold more copies outside of New York than in New York. And I'm a New Yorker. I'm from here. I'm from Far Rockaway, New York. More copies were sold outside of New York than it was in New York. And you have to be okay with that at some point. Like, okay, and reevaluate, what is it about folks, that barely know me a little bit, or know you a little bit, that's more inclined to support your vision or support what you're doing, support your product, than those that are in your inner circle. It's not for you to cast judgment on your inner circle. It's not for you to put blame and start pointing fingers. No, you have something that somebody else sees valuable. It's the old scripture. I'm not calling myself a prophet. I'm not calling you a prophet. But the scripture said a prophet is without honor in his own home. That's just what it is. So if the greats went through it, if Jesus went through it, if everybody else went through it, you got to be comfortable in your own skin. And that's kind of like where this settles in. Be comfortable in your own skin. You know what you got. You know what you wrote down. You know the songs that you have. You know the lyrics that you put together. You know you. You know what you bring to the table. You bring something valuable to the table. Keep producing. Focus on your frame. Right? Each season, each album, each song, each book, each time each event. We got an event that we're working on right now for GPA. Each event, you make sure you put 1,000% into it. You put everything you have into it, so that when you're reflecting on it and you're looking back at it, you can be proud. The moment you can look back at it and be like, yeah, that was good. Or even if there were parts that you just weren't pleased with, you're like, you know what? Okay, I know how we can make that better. Treat your first like your last, and your last like your first. So I just wanted to touching on that real quick. Like, continue. Keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing. You're talented. You are gifted. You are supported. You've got more support than you think. And the greatest support you're ever going to get in this life is from God. The greatest support, the greatest wisdom, the greatest encouragement you're going to get is from the God that lives within you. So you got this. It's just a support from your brother who is constantly living, experiencing, and constantly want to share these thoughts with you. So do me a favor, if you liked what you saw, liked what you heard, subscribe to this channel, share this channel with your friends, your loved ones, and make sure, if you don't have your copy of Pipe Dreams, Principles to Live What You Love, my debut book, go ahead to my website, get your copy. Go to Amazon, Kindle, Nook, Apple Book. It's available everywhere books are sold. So wherever you get your books from, you can get your copy on there. Just do me a favor for this 1 year anniversary. Yes, we are celebrating 1 year. 1 year of releasing my memoir. Just for all I'm asking for from everyone is to leave your reviews, post your reviews on Amazon. Go to the link in my bio on my Instagram page and just post your review on Amazon or wherever you get your books from. Or you can just text it to me or DM me like, hey, Dayo, this is what I think. Now, I love to hear your thoughts. Love to hear your feedback on what you think and how Pipe Dreams has impacted your journey. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, continue. Just continue. Keep doing what you're doing, and you'll reap the fruit of your labor. You'll see the results of it. And as always, man, love y'all. Live what you love. Earn a living doing what you love. Peace.